Hello everyone, it is I, Mark Major here. This is the Action Figuratorium. You can kind of see it there behind me. It's really just a bunch of a collection of trash and a lot of fun though. So today I'm going to be looking at yet another Kickstarter. I did one yesterday. I know some groans out there, but these things are dropping like flies, people, and we need to address them when they come up. If they go too far, people will be like, where were you? I was like, I don't know. So let's talk about Dr. Malgam's body bags today. Some people are going to say, well, it's really kind of more of a toy, more of a puzzle toy, not really an action figure. And in some ways, I think you're kind of right. I think I'm going to make my own argument about that. But also, if you see some of their own little marketing, their own promo on the Kickstarter, you're going to say, well, maybe they kind of are a figure, and maybe that's what they're going for. So everybody, let's come together and hold on tight. All right, let's queue up desktop. Switch over. So this is a Kickstarter crowdfund by a company called Toad Frog, which is actually just this toy designer named Jeff Parker. See a little picture of him at the bottom here. Trying to get $10,000, which is not a lot of money, so that's kind of basically pieces of a mold, it sounds like. And has already in one day already cleared it. We're at 15,000, only gonna go higher. So this thing is definitely funding. Let's take a look at see what the offering is for Mr. Malgams, as in Malgam, amalgamate, to mix, to blend, to amalgamate, right? So Mr. Malgam's, Dr. Malgam's body bags. And you can see it's a little cool zipper bag, and inside the zipper bag is a bunch of parts, which makes this guy. $25, by the way. Number 2, different parts, same price. 3, different parts. 4, etc. Now we get to see a little bit of the scaling. The bag's 8 inches, the figure's 6 inches, so it's going to look kind of cool next to your 1/12 guys. You're sort of maybe this is somebody that G.I. Joe has to hunt. Maybe this is somebody that the Mythic Legions have to fight. I don't know. But here, if you look at this, where they compare it to some of our favorites, G.I. Joe, Kenner, Funko, Lego, I'm going to have to dock them for not having Diamond Select Mini-Mates on there. I know some people are going to groan, but we should all come to Jesus over Mini-Mates, people. That should be the one thing that unites all of us in saying that is a great form factor after Lego and Playmobil. I think it's number 3, and I think it's a strong 3 at that. And it's not on here. Red marker. But you got some bundles. Instead of paying $25 each, if you buy 4, you get them $20 each. That's almost like a free figure. A couple exclusives. You get it all in red. Don't know what that means. Glow in the dark, always a good idea. It's great if you can have a single mold, single figure. If you can do some different variants, you get a little bit more mileage out of it. I think it's always on the cheesy side, but it's kind of a best practice in a way to get as much variety as you can. Not going to slag anybody for that. So if you can do a glow-in-the-dark version, do it. Got some stretch goals. You can get some new heads. You get a 5th assortment, essentially. Each one of these figures, I got to say, comes with an extra kind of a spare part. Let's go back up here. Like you saw one guy, he had 2 arms on the right side. This guy's got 2 arms on the left side. This guy's got an extra chest. So it's like a Build-A-Figure. If you get all 4, actually all 5, if the 5th one comes out, you can make a complete guy because there's a bag of assorted heads, right? So that's a possibility, is you just buy all of them. There's even another guy you get out of it. Kind of a cool idea. As we get down here, you can see there's some bundles. There's the designer. Looks like a good guy. I actually had this when I was a kid too. I know exactly where he's coming from. It's a great thing to sort of steal. And not a problem with that. Now here's some marketing that I wasn't expecting. He's got kind of some shipping rates, which is really interesting. He's also got a timeline, a graph timeline for when this thing's going to be complete and shipping. So have yet to see that on anyone else's Kickstarter. That's great for vetting someone. Makes you feel that this is a veteran of the industry, someone who's worked on toys before, both the design and production, manufacture, that kind of thing. So I think that this is sort of slick. Now, let's get out some tools, some objective tools. I know this graphic scares people. We're not here to scare anybody. We'll take it down as soon as we can. No fear. So what this says is best practices. 3 tiers, something cheap, something deluxe, something luxury, right? Then a wide variety of things. The wider the variety of things, the more money you make. Even though more overhead, more money. Are you here to make money? You're going to need more things. I'll tell you that right now. And then just a note about the marketing itself. You should have your biggest sales pitch, everything we need to know, all of our timelines or graphs or tables, stuff like that, all on the page. Really does help. People come in, they don't know anything about you or your story. They don't know who Jeff Parker is. They have no idea. You got to tell them. So, to me, the last thing, the marketing looks great on this. I think this guy's got a really keen eye for sort of cool, campy, kitsch design that works. I'm definitely buying it. He has a pretty good wide selection of 4 assorted figures, and each of those figures has kind of a weird selection of things. So if you're trying to, there's a little bit of play in there. Of course, he's got the extra, glow-in-the-dark guy, all-red guy. Not sure what the all-red guy is about, but I would say can it, personally, right? But you need a wide variety, so it's going to go. We're going to leave it in. And the 3 tiers, he's definitely got some deluxe guys. He's got some entry guys. I don't really see a luxury item. Most people struggle to get a luxury item, but that's the way it goes. There are some sort of luxury packages. I guess we'll include that into our assessment that, yeah, okay, if you want to buy an all-in, that's your luxury pack, go for it. All right, so that is the sort of objective things. He's checking all the boxes, and he's funded. I think it's going to do well. How well? Probably 30 or 40,000 when this thing's over. I'm going to just guess. Don't think it's going to hit 50K. I could be wrong. We'll see how far it gets. We're only 1 day in. It's already got 15. I think that's pretty excellent. But let's talk a little bit about the thing he's selling. Let's add a little bit of subjective realism to it. First of all, the product is called body bags, right? But he's really not selling you the body bag. He's selling you the figure. And so that's a little misleading, right? There is an assortment of body bags you can buy. By the way, in case we didn't look at the rewards, it was kind of implied in the marketing. You can buy any particular guy for 25 bucks. If you get 4 guys, drops 20 bucks each, $80. Of course, there's an all-in special for $120. There are some add-ons that are interesting. Empty bag for $7 or 3 empty bags for $18. What are you going to do with those bags? However, that is the name of the product. It would be weird to not have the name of the product for sale. Of course, that's where if you get it as an add-on, you can get the red guy, the glow-in-the-dark guy. I think it's a mistake, first of all, not having the body bags available to anybody. What if someone comes in and they buy like 100 body bags or something weird like that, or they just buy one? And you're like, oh, but it's so painful to print out a label and put it in an envelope for just one. Well, life is struggle, and what are you going to do? And I also think it's a mistake not having the deluxe guys, the $30 guys, available to anybody, not as an add-on, but to just buy it. And I'm also going to say you're not charging enough. You should put the glow-in-the-dark guy at $35. You should take the red guy and mark him down to $25, okay? Price change. Fixes some things, gets some extra money, kind of keeps people away from the glow-in-the-dark, but those who do get it, it's a little more rare now, isn't it? It's worth more. All right, so that's in the rewards. Back to the campaign itself and what we're looking at. So there's 2 directions here, right? And it's kind of similar to a product called Junk Bots, and I did a great unboxing of some Junk Bots. I'm a fan of Junk Bots. I think Junk Bots as a toy idea is a great idea. Even if it turns out not being successful, I still think the idea is great. Similar, you get a bag full of parts. Open the bag, take the parts out, you make something out of it. It's not necessarily what's being advertised here. That would have to be kind of more of like you just buy a bag and whatever parts you get, that's the parts you get. Or the other thing is something more like those Glyos figures, right? And we just looked at a Kickstarter the other day. Mighty Maniacs, which I actually kind of like and actually backed. You should check out the vid. You should check out the Kickstarter. Similar kind of thing. You would make a cool figure, and people go like, oh yeah, I want the mummy, or oh, I want the creature Black Lagoon guy, right? But they just happen to swap parts with other guys. So you're like, well, I'm going to make a weird amalgamation werewolf Dracula man. I'm going to buy those two and see, you know, that kind of thing. Either A, it's a bag of parts, right, in a bag, or B, it's a figure and it happens to be swappable. And this guy isn't going really either direction. Some people might think that that's what's cool about the product. They like that it's avant-garde. I get that. I'm way into as much John Coltrane as you can pipe into the room any given day, and it applies to toys. However, to be a commercial success, people need to have something they can hang their hat on. It has to make sense. Are you buying cool figures? In this case, no, each one is like a weird mashup. Or are you buying a bag of parts? Well, I am, but it's not really advertised as a bag of parts. It's advertised as a weird mashup. That's the one sort of negative connotation I have to give this, is the lack of focus on the toy itself. The idea is great. The marketing doesn't really align with what we're getting, right? Especially since body bag is what's kind of in the title, and the idea should be blind box, I guess, in this case, and the parts should be completely random. Should still be able to make a guy with it. That's what I would do. Some people might say that's a losing combination. I'm willing to accept defeat if necessary. I mean, it's already cleared, you know. I just think that it would become maybe a standard in this scale, the same way that Glyos has become a standard, as if you actually just made cool figures and they interchanged. I think that would be the way to go for the long con. But if you just want to do kind of a fun, it's a game, it's a bunch of random parts, you get them with your friends, you mix them up, you play them. I think this is cool too, but you got to spend $100 to get into it. So, as always, my recap, I think it's going to hit 50 grand. Cool idea, focus, either bags or bodies, pick one. But that's it for this episode. Thanks to everybody who made it this far, and you know, stay charged.